Welcome back to Tabletop 24. We're on the UKGE show floor. I'm with Marcus of Blue Donut Games, and we are been looking at Horror in the Library, which is currently on Kickstarter.
Yes, it is.
Can you tell us a bit about the game?
Yes, I can. Okay, so Horror in the Library is a tile-based card collecting game. The idea of the game is that we've all been invited to the mansion of the Mad Professor, and he gives us a sumptuous meal, and at the end of the meal, over cigars, or non-cigars, if you're smokers or non-smokers, he reveals his nefarious plans he has for us. He wants to use us as human guinea pigs in this nuts library he's created. And we stand up, we're indignant. How dare you, sir? And we realise that we've been drugged. And we all go, ugh. And when we wake up, we find we are in the library. In one hand, I've got a letter. In the other hand, I've got a strange looking clock. I look at the clock and it tells me it's a fortitude meter. Okay. The letter tells me that I've got to find items in the library in order to stand a chance to escape. Otherwise, we're going to be here for eternity. That seems quite a long time to me. Mind you, reading books, peace and quiet.
Yeah.
It's not sounding that bad.
It's not the worst thing ever, is it?
However, there are visitations and creatures from the netherworld, so we really do need to get out. So the items that we need are over here, and they're on these different coloured tiles there. Now, these different items, if I just take a couple of these, okay, so these are the items that we need to find. So we've got different colours on the back. So we've got yellow, red, blue, green, white, and black. Black, it says K. What colour is K? So it's K because you have cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So the old print guys, K represented black because you've got B's already taken for blue.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the items. Now, the thing about the items is they do two things. One, they help to say how long or short the game is. So if you want a quick game, you say like one item or maybe two items. Or if you want a whole wet Sunday afternoon, like it is today, we can dress up, have a full 6-item game and enjoy ourselves. Okay. So we know we've got to get these items. How do we get the items? We've got to get the items out of the books in the bookcase. Okay? There are bookcases all around the library. Okay? So how do we get to these bookcases? What we've got to do is we've got to move through the rooms and search the bookcases. So we've got 3 types of actions on our turn. We've got to move, we've got to search, and a look. Okay, so we'll have a look at what those are. So a move, as you'd expect, I can move through an open door. No problem. There's an open door there, so I can move through there. But this is a weird library, and what we can do is slightly dematerialise and pass through a closed door, and that will use 1 fortitude point. The other kind of move I can do is I can, rather than move me, I can move the rooms. So I can rotate them. So what that means is, if I, for example, was in this room here, there's a door here, even though it's locked, there's it's a Victorian house, it's a solid stone wall. I'm not going to be able to materialise and pass through that. So I can rotate the tile like that, 90 degrees, move through into the room, and then reduce my fortitude by -1. Okay? So that's move, and just to say you can rotate the tiles that are adjacent as well as the one you're in. Okay? Which is great fun because if somebody else is in the room and you don't want them to come after you, rotate the tile.
Yeah.
So the rooms in the library are ever changing, and in the game you'll find there's actually in the box, I should say, there are 16 tiles, so it's just set up for a small game. And also you can set them up any way you like. So if you want to make a corridor with a room at the end and funny L shape or whatever, you can do that with the tiles. Okay. So the other actions we've got are look and search. So I'm going to do look next. So I can't search when my numbers are in the red here. So -1 to 5. So what I can do though is I can look and I can move. There's a painting. There we go. There's the painting. So we can look at the art, because the Victorians love their art, didn't they?
They did.
And art nourishes the soul. So what I can do is I can take one die and I can do a D3. So I can roll the dice and I can see how many points I get. I'm a rubbish dice roller and I've only got 2, so that means I only get 1 fortitude. But what we can do is we can do any 3 actions. So if I need to do another look, if I want, I can do another look.
Yeah, another one.
At least I can do that. And of course, I'm in this room where there is nothing else other than the painting. So I need to be in a room where there is a bookcase and where there are drawers. Now the other look I can do is with a mirror. And you'll see there's a mirror there, and there's a mirror there, and there's a mirror there, and there's a mirror there in this one. You can tell they're a mirror because if you look in the mirror, you can see there's the floor at the bottom. So it reflects the floor. So I can move from one mirror to another mirror, and I would take -2 fortitude. Okay? All is not lost. I can't search. I'm in a nice room, there's a bookcase and a drawer, but there's a painting there, so I'm just going to roll D3. I'm going to get my 2 points, and now I can do a search. So there are 2 types of searches. I'm going to search the bookcase. So the way I do that is I put my number 1 down there, like that. I take my golden cube and move it on my first point on the search meter. Okay, and then I take the 2 dice. I roll them like this. 1, 6. There's a yellow and a white dice because on the board here on the bookcase there's a 1 and a 6. Well, come and have a look at the bookcase. Come in, Nigel, get a close look on that before I put it in the pot. There we go. So the 1 and the 6, that's going to give me K, that's the Black Book of Law. And so what I do is I take that page and then I can then look to see if it matches with my items. Now, if it matches with the items, then what I do is I put it in the pages holder there, and you can see that locks it away. Nobody can steal it. Okay. So if I put it to one side, that means the card's vulnerable. What does that mean? Okay, so let's do another search and I'll explain. So I'm going to take the 2 and I'm going to stick it on the drawer. Okay. Then I move my 2, my golden cube, onto the 2 there. I'm not going to use the dice. What I'm going to do is use this beautiful velvet bag, and I'm going to have a good rummage.
Rummage through the drawers.
Oh yes. Oh, naughty. Oh. So I've got a curse. Oh dear. So curses. Okay, so I can let's have a look at some curses. So this is a nasty curse. That's not going to do me any good. So this one here, the canker spider, I lose -2 fortitude if I use that. So there are bad curses, but there are other good curses, such as the revolver, or I could use the blunderbuss. There's the blunderbuss. Now with a blunderbuss, I roll 1 dice to see the effect on the blunderbuss. It might blow you up, it might do nothing, or it might blow back in my face. But if I'm successful with it, I can then use that. I have to be in the same room as you, but if I'm successful, then I can take the card to the side that's vulnerable, and then I can use it. And if it's the item I need, then of course I just check that off, I'm done. Once I've got all the items I need, I'm in a winning condition and I can make my way to the portal. But it's not as simple as that. Why is that? Well, if in a 3-player game there are 3 items, or a 3 search markers, or a 4-player, there are 4 search markers. Think of them like it's psychic energy. When you're touching things, every time you're searching, you're imparting psychic energy into the room. When there's a critical mass of energy, a monster appears, and my favourite monster is going to come out. There are all the level 1s and level 2s. So the level 1s come out to play when they're all on the board. All the level 2s come out and they inflict 2 damage to your fortitude. So the maggot child, they've all got names. I've given them all names. The maggot child comes out to play. You're going to edit that out, aren't you? So the maggot child comes out to play, and what happens then is it will damage my fortitude, but I do have the chance to then see if I get over 6. I can't destroy the monster, but I can control it. So what that means then is I can put it anywhere I like, even in the portal. So in where I've got then all my items and I want to make my way, I have to then make my way. So that's 1, 2. I'm going to pretend I'm playing the game here. So I'm just going to rotate around. I'm going to go through the door, and then I'm going to do on my next turn. Then I'm ready to go in through the open door, what I then have to do is I have to make sure I've got enough fortitude. If the door was closed, I'd have to make sure I'm in positive fortitude after I've gone through the door, okay? Otherwise I can't go into the portal. This open door, so I can go in here. Then what I've got to do is I've got to roll and beat the monster. If I beat the monster, I've won the game. But if I lose, I take the damage and I have to come out. And then somebody else may then just snatch victory from me, roll the dice, beat the monster, and then they've won the game. That's it, really.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So that is Horror in the Library.
That's Horror in the Library.
But it's not the only thing, obviously, that you're showing off this weekend, is it? So you've
No,
got
it's not, no.
Future Beyond, Further Beyond.
Yes, so this is a very different, apart from the fact that, well, this is very floppy. It's not a board game. So this is our role-playing game, the first ever role-playing game we've done. And I've worked with the fabulous Christian Salvage. Sadly, he's not here because he's got COVID, bless him. But he's been running around in the background doing things, which has been wonderful. This is a first edition of our role-playing game, which is a science fiction game about exploration with a slight 70s twist. We've been very lucky that the fabulous Pamela Elson, her brother, was Peter Elson. Peter Elson was a science fiction book cover illustrator in the 70s and 80s. Magnificent illustrator, and Pam has been very kind to work with us so that we are able to have these awesome illustrations in this in book. So there's an example here. Now this, there you go, some of Pete's work.
Lovely.
This has the first version of the cool rules. It tells you how to play the game, also how to run a game, and it has in the back, it has character sheets as well that you use to do your characters. This is for £10, and what happens is if you buy this, you then are a member of the Further Beyond kind of club for the year, where we're doing play testing. You'll get emailed modules and expansions. At the end of the year, then you become an early bird on the Kickstarter, which hopefully we will be running in the next year to buy the hardback full version of Further Beyond.
Fantastic. So that's great. So, Michael, thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.
I hope you've had a good weekend.
Oh, yes.
Brilliant. So, thanks for catching one of these videos. If you haven't done so already, check out our other footage from the convention, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.